Hello from Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Ben of His and Hers Vlogs, and welcome to Myths, Misconceptions, and Realities of Overlanding. Social media and hashtags really have made a mess out of things. And then Madison Avenue utilizes a cool sounding word to sell gears and accessory, but we hope to enlighten you as to what overlanding really is in this video. Before I get started, let me introduce ourselves. We are Ben and Rebecca of His and Hers Vlogs. We have a home base in Alaska, but essentially we have been full-time traveling for the better part of 5 years now. Originally in a Class A motorhome, and now we have a 4x4 expedition vehicle that helps us reach amazing off-grid destinations. I also have to do a plug for our website, hisandhershub.com, a central location for increased engagement with us. Ask us questions, check out our courses, watch the videos on our amazing player, find merchandise. It's all over there on the hub. What is overlanding? Well, let's start off with a very well-written definition from the publication Overland Journal. Overlanding is self-reliant adventure travel to remote destinations where the journey is the primary goal. Typically, but not exclusively, accommodated by mechanized off-highway capable transport where the principal form of lodging is camping, often lasting for extended lengths of time spanning international borders. Overlanding sees the journey as the purpose. It goes on more to talk about global travels, but in the modern world, overlanding is nothing but a trendy hashtag, and very, very few people actually do live up to this definition. Jumping right in with number 1, overlanding does not mean a 4-wheel drive vehicle. Overlanding is about travel and the journey. Yes, the modern interpretation involves a lot of dirt roads and off the beaten path adventures, but you can still have a lot of those, if not 90% of those, in a 2-wheel drive vehicle. Number 2, overlanding does not only take place on dirt roads, and it is not rock crawling. Although an overland journey may include some of those components, they are definitely not required for overlanding, even though we do love our dirt road adventures very much. Number 3 is a sign of the times. Apparently, if you put a rooftop tent on your truck or SUV and go out camping on weekends, that is now called overlanding. Granted, you can have some really cool adventures on weekends, but back in the day, my boys and I used to just call that truck camping. On the other side of the coin for number 4, overlanding does not mean full-time travel like we do. It can be short journeys, but there definitely has to be a respectable distance and journey involved. Number 5, oddly, there is a lot of animosity towards RVers in the overlanding community. I don't quite understand, because we're all travelers, we're all out there having fun. Technically, I'm recreating in this vehicle, somebody in their Tacoma is recreating in that vehicle, so shouldn't we all just get along? Number 6 is a big reality playing off the last one, but overlanding is a lot easier in a smaller vehicle because the journey is a little bit more on the adventurous side. You are always moving. Sometimes it involves going into cities because it is not all about dirt roads. Travel is about culture, and you find that in the cities. So keep that in mind when you're shopping for vehicles. Smaller is better. Number 7, overlanding is about the spirit of travel. How far you go, how long you're out, what route you choose to get there, that's all left up to interpretation and personal decision. But travel and journey and experiences are the common theme in overlanding. Number 8, despite what Madison Avenue would have you think, it's not about the gear or the accessories or even how much money you spend on the rig. Use what you have, get out there, go camping, pitch a tent on the ground if you need to, but remember, it's not about the vehicle, it's about your journey. Number 9, social media and online platforms like forums can be a hive for people behaving badly. There's a certain element of security when you're behind the screen on your phone or the safety of your keyboard. People say horrible things, but once you get out there on the road, you will find that there are real people and there are good people out there in the community. Number 10 kind of relates to us, but just because you have a 4x4 off-road camper does not mean when you're traveling full time, you are always going to be in remote off-grid destinations. Real life, like this instance now, I'm sitting at a campground in Las Vegas because Rebecca flew out to visit her friend. In a few days, my boys are coming into town and we're heading out to the desert camping. So yes, I am in an RV park right now. Number 11, people say they never see these Unimogs and Fusos and LMTVs and MAN and all the big expedition vehicles doing hardcore off-roading. You know what? I got some thoughts on this, because if you are thousands of miles from home in a vehicle that is, we'll call it expensive, because they can go anywhere from $50 to $1.5 million, are you really gonna take unnecessary chances by climbing up this staircase trail? But on the other hand, if you are out adventuring and there's an obstacle between you and your destination, you do take on those challenges. But just because you have a 4x4 camper like this does not mean you hardcore off-road. That can get very expensive. Number 12 is a harsh reality, but national parks are a pain in the rear to visit. They are heavily visited, which means the parks need to be protected from the people. And this creates a lot of rules. So much so that it's not always a pleasurable experience. We have heard there's a couple really good places, for example, Canyonlands that has some dirt road exploration, or even Big Bend. But also be prepared for regulations like no ground campfires. That's just the reality of visiting national parks. Number 13, if you're on the road overlanding long enough, you're gonna have to come to terms with this one, at least in the United States, the reservation system. It sucks. It actually kills the spirit of travel when they mismanage it. I do respect the reservation system, but call it quits at maybe 80% reservation, leave 20% for the spirit of travel. Number 14, it is a whole new world, and there are people full-time overlanding and full-time RVing with an emphasis on overlanding. The internet has made this amazing age where people like us, we'll say in the prime of our lives, instead of going to a physical location to work, we can work from the road, and that allows us to travel. For example, I think traveling in like a rooftop tent full time would be a grand adventure, but not sustainable for every single day travel, which is why we opted for more of a self-contained unit ourselves. But the group that I think has it really figured out would be the full-time RVers that tow a Jeep or even a Ford with a rooftop tent. That right there is the best of both worlds. You can go out on off-grid adventures, but yet for day-to-day life, come back to a base camp and have all the comforts of a motorhome. Last but not least, number 15, and it is a good one. Once you are out there overlanding and traveling, you will meet the most amazing people from all around the world. And some of our most cherished friendships have come from people we have met on the road. Well, that's a wrap. I hope I helped clarify things when it comes to overlanding. I might have left a few of you a little more confused, but ultimately, what does it matter? Why do you have to put a label on things? Why can't I just be Ben and, well, she's not here, but Rebecca, who love to travel and camp? All right, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, but we'll see you on the road.